Hi and welcome back to my channel. I'm Nick and today is going to be a special edition with my boyfriend Ben.
Hey.
And we are going to be doing a Q&A about dating a non-vegan. And I'm the vegan of the two, Ben's the non-vegan, and I posted a Q&A poll on my Instagram and I got lots of juicy responses. Okay, so today I'm going to answer those questions. And if you guys are struggling in a vegan relationship, vegan/non-vegan relationship, or you want to just get a little insight of what it's like for someone in a vegan/non-vegan relationship, then keep on watching. Thanks, guys. Okay, so let's get started. And the first question is for you, Ben. And it's, do you complain about her veganism and her beliefs?
No, I do not. I think it's something that's good for you and it's healthy for you, so it's yeah, and it doesn't affect me in any negative way, so there's no problem with it. Okay,
cool. Next question. Does she make you feel bad for not eating vegan food?
Yes. Anytime I don't eat anything non-vegan, yeah, I catch some flack for it, but
yeah, I do. That is my struggle. It's pretty hard when you have like a very deep-rooted belief system with veganism and you're living with and you're dating someone who doesn't quite see it that strictly or for the same reasons. It definitely does put a little stress, and I've tried to get better with it, but it's really hard. And I do say things when he eats non-vegan food, and he knows how I feel about it when he's going to be eating it. Not that I tell him he needs to listen to what I say, but I am gonna have some opinions about it when he does do it. And yeah, so we can move on. Let's see. All right, next question. Do you feel guilty not eating vegan food?
Yeah, because I mean, I know that you like me to, and for the most part, I really do. I eat 90+% plant-based diet. It's just there's some things like certain dressings that have milk in them, or other things that might have cheese in it from time to time.
Yeah, and it is definitely hard to see him indulge in those things. I always call him a vegetarian. It's like, you're not a vegan, you're a vegetarian. And I don't know, I know that, you know, everyone's on their own journey and everything, but sometimes it just does get the best of me, and I just have to state my opinion about it, and I do, and that's sometimes how it goes. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next question. This one's for me. Are you willing to stay with a non-vegan for years? In the past, I always wished like, oh, I would love to stay to vegan, and it would be so much easier, so much better, and we'd be on the same page in a lot of aspects. And you know, you see different Instagram posts, or you see different YouTubers who are 100% vegan couples, and that's always been something I've wanted to strive for and have wanted in my own life. And it's definitely been a learning experience when me and Ben started to date. But yeah, I don't think that it would be like a deal breaker, or I couldn't do it for years. Obviously, I would love if he were to be vegan, and if he does come to the conclusion that, you know, veganism is the way to go, but we'll just have to see how that goes. We'll go to the next question. Do you make him feel guilty for not being vegan? They asked that already?
I think so.
For not being vegan or for not eating meat?
Oh, for not being, oh wait, no, that's...
I do to an extent. I've tried to manage how I feel about it, because in the beginning I just like would get so enraged, and it really did make me feel awful about dating him and being with someone who couldn't even, who would like be a part of the you know, the abuse of animals and exploitation. And there are times where I am like, oh, okay, I guess you're just supporting rape and murder today, or you know, the exploitation of animals and animal suffering, and I just throw it out there like that. And I don't know how he really receives it, but I do throw that out there. And do I make him feel guilty? Yeah, I do make him feel guilty. Do I feel bad for making him feel guilty? No, I don't. Honestly, I don't feel bad for making him feel guilty, just because it's not like me that I'm upset for. It's the animals, and it's supporting the oppression of sentient beings and all of those things. And when I think about the big picture, and there is someone who I live with and who I am with, and when I see them embark on something like that, it really does hurt me on a deep level, because it's just like, how could you do that? How could you support that? How could you how could you? There are those thoughts, and it is really difficult to get past them. So yeah, I think Ben does take it very well. But is there parts of me that wish he would really just take it to heart and just be vegan? Yeah, definitely. Okay, Ben, this one's for you.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the positive aspects Ben gained from trying to live a vegan lifestyle?
Well, it certainly made you healthier or happier. And I'm sure it's healthier. I mean, I don't really notice a change per se in how I feel physically, but I mean, I guess it's nice to know that you're not contributing to, you know, animal suffrage and things like that. But usually whenever I do consume animal products, it's stuff that's already been made. I'm not actively going out there and buying these products. It's stuff that's already prepackaged and already been produced. Not so much at a grocery store or something, but at work. And so I guess
I'm going to cut you off.
Mm-hmm.
Because the question was, what are some of the positive aspects Ben gained from trying to live a vegan lifestyle? Not what are some of the excuses Ben comes up with for not eating vegan at times.
True. I drifted. So positive aspects are, like I said, I mean, contributing to suffrage of animals, and I don't know, I guess knowing that you're on some sort of maybe a healthier movement. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. What are Ben's thoughts on veganism?
Well, I think it's a great way to go. For the most part, that's the way I eat, and I'm fine with that. However, there are a few things that are currently not well imitated, and when those things are easily available to eat, it's hard to resist that urge to do that. But if I didn't have those urges, I would 100% be vegan and never look back. But it can be really, really hard to make that transition. But it takes time, I guess.
Yeah, it definitely does. I'm definitely one of those people who just went straight for it and became vegan right away for various reasons. And Ben kind of just started dating me, and I eat that way, and then he started to dabble in some of it.
Well, we eat together most meals. It's very easy I'm just gonna eat whatever you're gonna have. Unless you have rice and nori or something really bland. It's not easy for me to follow along with that.
Yeah. Okay. let's see. This one's for me. What's the most challenging part about dating a semi-vegan? The most challenging part for me come in many parts. I would say a big one is obviously not seeing things eye to eye sometimes, or if we do see things eye to eye, and you know, sometimes I will make note of all of the disastrous things contributing to animal abuse and dairy farms and meat and everything else, any type of animal byproduct is, and Ben will usually combat that with something, or just say, well, it's just cheese, or it's just that, and or whatever those little reasons are. And it's just on a grand scale, to me, is just so petty. It's so so unworthy of animal life, of killing animals rather. And it's really hard to just wrap my mind around those reasons. I try to ignore them and just kind of say, just take ownership for it. Like, I don't want to hear all the excuses behind it. Just be upfront with what you're actually doing, what you're actually supporting, because there's no sugarcoating anything that you're doing. It's all destructive to me, right? And just that back and forth about that, it's very disheartening for me, because I want him to love animals, and I want him to see things the way I do, and not contribute sometimes or whatever, ever. I don't want him to ever contribute, just like I'm not contributing. And yeah, I think just my philosophies run pretty deep, and when I hear those very on the surface reasons or excuses, it just enrages me. But I have learned how to cope with it more and just kind of accept it. I think that's a big part of it, is just accepting where someone's at and where their journey is, and just taking it day by day. And trying to look at the big picture of their journey, and that people become vegan in different ways or start their journey for different reasons. And sometimes I just need to sit back and just do what I do. And if he follows suit, that would be amazing. But I know that it takes longer for some more than others. And that would be my answer to that. Let's see. So how do disagreements get resolved? I don't know that they necessarily get resolved. I think that it's just kind of agreed that this is just where we are. That's where he is with veganism or being non-vegan, and he knows where I stand. He knows how I feel about everything. So I think just communication is definitely a big part of just coping with everything. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with that. They don't really get resolved because, I mean, I don't know, there's not much to really resolve. It's just kind of, you know, we accept what it is, and then, you know, take it little by little and move on.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's kind of what you have to do. So here is another question. This one's for me. It says, describe your happiness when Ben decided to try the vegan lifestyle. There was a ray of hope when he decided he would eat mostly plant-based, and it made me really happy to know that he was willing to try something and to be open-minded. And I think that definitely has carried my views on him not being 100% vegan. It's definitely helps me whenever I'm very upset, and I know I have to think about it and think, well, he has come a long way, and he has, you know, changed a lot of the way he was eating. I mean, I know when I barely met him, he was eating what were you eating when I met you? Cheese, a lot of cheese, and a lot of meat.
Yeah.
And
yeah. I mean, mostly, you know, fast food and whatever food the hospital already had made.
Right, and that was crazy. And I also remember when before, you know, we started dating, and you remember when I would make things that were vegan, especially when my brother was in town and Ben was around, and he would say things like, oh, how are you guys eating that? Oh, I could never do that. I could never, I don't know what, that's just gross. and it's so bland. That looks so bland. How would you even eat that? And those are the type of comments I would get.
Well, to be fair, I mean, I doctor my stuff up a lot, though.
Yeah,
even now.
Yeah, he's into like lots of sauces and lots of different combinations of things. And at the time, I mean, I could just eat a bowl of rice with nori, or I could just like roll up some rice and nori and cucumbers with some coconut aminos, and I used to eat that like every night sometimes. I was just eating really simply, and that worked for me. But you know, we're all different. But just thinking back to, in retrospect, to like where he started and where he is right now, it's definitely worlds different. You know, we have a smoothie every morning, or we try to have a smoothie every morning, and we eat vegan food at home all the time. That's all I make here. And he eats everything. There's been a few things that we've tried and it was kind of like, it's not the greatest, but I think for the most part, he does take part in eating this way. Aside from the times like he mentions where he'll eat like cheese pizza, or I don't know, what else do you eat that's not vegan?
That's really about it. It's basically cheese. You know, I don't ever get, you know, like an actual cheeseburger, or, you know, a steak or anything like that, or, you know, fried chicken or anything like that. It's really just things that have milk or they might have cheese in them. Mm-hmm. And aside from that, I mean, I'm pretty good.
Yeah. So this is another question for me. It says, will it be a deal breaker if he never chooses to become vegan? I don't think that I see the world that way. Of course, it would be amazing, and I would love that, you know, that 100% vegan couple, and all of those things are very appealing to me. I just think that just naturally that works better when your beliefs are they coincide. But if he never decides to, and he stays in the range where what he's eating now, I think I can manage that. I think that's doable. What?
Think you can manage that? Okay.
What?
No, nothing.
Did that not sound very confident?
No, it is not. It sounds like you're struggling with it now.
I wouldn't say that I'm struggling. I'm not struggling with it. It's not like I think about, oh, this is just not gonna work or anything. I mean, I pretty much cover what does bother me. Things bother me, but things I talked about. So I've found that communication is obviously the key for everything. If I'm able to just say what I want to say, if he's eating that, but I get to say what I say, and like I told him before, in the past, if he decides to eat something, oh yeah, by the way, he used to like try to hide what he was eating, or like I would kind of smell like this dairy smell on him and be like, did you eat cheese? And then you have this really guilty look on his face, be like, yeah. And it's just like, that would really upset me, because at that point I felt like, is he just like hiding? I felt like he was cheating on me with food. As like crazy as that sounds, that's what it feels like. It feels like, God, you're just like hiding stuff from me. What are you just living a double life? And you know, you just deal with it because you're with me and you have to, and you're not even interested the slightest bit. And then it kind of feels like, God, it feels like I'm forcing someone to do something with their life that they're not interested in. At that point, that's when it kind of feels like, God, would this even work? Because it shouldn't be the lies or the hiding or anything like that. For me, what really works is just being honest, being truthful about where you are, and that is what I need. I don't need people to be lying to me, or I don't need them to go sneak cheese somewhere or go eat some pizza and not tell me. I'm very big about like, if you're gonna do it, just like mention it to me. Just be honest with me and just tell me what you did. And yeah, you might get some shit for it, and that's what's gonna happen. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna say this relationship is over. It's just, sometimes I just need to release that little bit of like how I feel about it, and that completely resolves whatever it is that I'm dealing with inside. And making sure he knows where I am with that as well. Do you have anything to add to that? The other thing that does bother me is he tries to blame it on other circumstances. He'll blame it on being some place that has all this stuff available. And that's just very irritating to me because nobody's spoon feeding anyone. And those kinds of excuses just drive me crazy. It's kind of like, just take responsibility for your own actions instead of blaming it on the circumstances around you or what's in the room. Like, are you kidding me? Do you not have any self-control? Like, those are the kinds of things that go through my mind. And I just can't take those responses. Anything else to say?
No, I think that pretty much sums it up.
Okay, let's move on. Do you hope one day he realizes it's what's best for him? Of course, I hope that one day he realizes that veganism is the way to go and that it's just better for the environment and the animals and your health and everything else. There's just so much. You can go on and on about what all the benefits of veganism are. So yeah, that would be my answer. Okay, Ben, this one's for you. Are you willing to become vegan if it means your relationship is at risk?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that answer. Do you have anything else to add to that? Yes? Why? Why would you do that?
Because, I mean, you know, there's a lot of time invested here. And, I mean, I do care about you and, you know, I'm working towards, you know, being better at it. You know, it's a process for me. So. Well,
that's very nice of you and kind of you to even say that and be willing to do that. If that were the question, if that were my question, I mean, if it were for veganism, yes, I would totally do that. But okay, there might be various answers to that, but that's cool. Well, all in all, I'm out of questions. And yeah, for the record, guys, I would never recommend giving your partner an ultimatum when it does come to veganism. That is just, I think that's very unfair. And in the long run, if they aren't deeply rooted themselves and all it is because they want you to be satisfied, that's not going to hold the relationship together. So all in all, make sure that your partner is doing what they're doing because they want to do it, not just because you want to do it. And just be thankful that you being in their life has brought some different perspective, but also try to respect where they are in their life and their journey of veganism or veganism to veganism. And yeah, I hope that some of this has helped you all in vegan relationships or vegan/non-vegan relationships. If you have any more questions, please comment down below and I will answer them. And if there are questions for Ben, I'll ask Ben and he'll answer them. I hope that this has been fun for you guys to look at and get a little insight of how our relationship is. And yeah, if you're into this sort of video, give it a thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you on my next one. Thanks, guys.